Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And how are we today? Well, as you can see, it's a little bit windy today, but the sun is out. We've got a bit of cloud up there in the skies. We've had really weather that's gone from one extreme to the other, but not to the extreme that I know a lot of you in the UK have had, where you've had snow. Thank you to those people who have been sending me their snowy pictures of where they're living. A big shout out to Steve over there in Stoke-on-Trent. Thank you for your pictures. And there's been a few other people who sent me a few pictures as well of what it's like outside their doors. But do you know what? I dream of a bit of snow. I'd love to have a bit of snow. But at the moment, it's just cloud and it's rather misty as well. I'm hoping that we're in for some good weather. And you can probably hear that it's also a bit blustery. Looking over towards Amber Lockerbie and also Kerry. Again, a little bit misty, a bit cloudy, but the clouds aren't as ominous as what they can be. So maybe we're in tune for some lovely weather at the moment. We'll go quickly round to the other side of the house. And again, sunshine here on this side, bursting through as we look towards Laguna and as the crow flies through to Kalamaki. And yeah, oh, it's lovely. And the thing is, as always, as you know, when you stand in the sun, it's absolutely glorious. And I'm just going to take a second or two just to top up the old facial tan, get rid of the red look from the celebrations over Christmas and that. Oh, there you go. So it's looking lovely. And yeah, the oranges and lemons are good. Delivered a few of those to some people yesterday when I was on a little bit of a round. And yeah, the oranges are good and the lemons are good. And we now head towards the end of the year. Can you believe it? And not far off the beginning of 2021. So anyway, let's go up onto the balcony. Let us check the news for you for today. It's been a little bit going on, not too much, but I've got some interesting little facts and figures and asides as well. So big shout out to Shane and also Linda, who are tuning in at the moment. Nice to see you here. Eh? So anyway, let's have a quick look at the news for today, the 30th of December 2020. Can you believe that? And it's a Wednesday. It is now day 353 or 53 of the lockdown. It feels like we've been here for months. Anyway, just a quick one on the Star of Bethlehem. It's still in sight at the moment. You probably got till tomorrow night to actually see it. So it still hangs above over the back where we are. We can see it very, very clearly, actually. It's quite a nice little view as well. So once again, check that out if you haven't. Also, again, a quick reminder, don't forget your 10% discount if you want to book a holiday here for next year at Magdalena's Bar and Studios. Just go and see Dennis online, start booking your thingies, 10% up until the end of Feb. All right, so we're trying to get the season going. Can I say a quick hello to Mike Gatlandy? I asked him yesterday, because we would tell you the story about the sunken ferry. He came back with a little message, which was, I've dived it a few times over the past few years, but not recently. He said, I know Nero divers at Kerry still do trips there, so guessing you can. He says, whether or not you need permission now, I don't know. All right, cheers for that. But he also said, a funny story about 15 years ago. He says he was sitting in a cafe in town with a Greek friend talking about the ferry wreck, and an old Greek man on the next table was listening, and he said, and my friend was translating to him. Anyway, my friend started to laugh when the old man asked, next time you dive down there, could you get a suitcase out of the boot of his car? So I wonder what was in that suitcase. So anyway, cheers for that, Mike. I appreciated that as well. So let's have a quick look at the news. First of all, as always, we start off with the COVID stats in the last 24 hours. We've had 1,047 new infections across Greece in the last 24 hours, which unfortunately is up. Total infections to date now is 136,176, of which 52.3% are men. There's been 3 new cases on Corfu, nothing here at the moment, which is good. We've also had 58 new deaths across the country, which which fortunately it is down. All right, the death rate has gone down slightly. So basically 318 of those were male, 140 a female. Oh, hang on a minute, that's in the wrong area. That's in the wrong area. Yes. Yeah, 58 new deaths, all right, so that is down, all right. I've just realised I didn't put the total in for today. Oh, you should have checked that, Ginge. Anyway, one of the deaths yesterday was the Metropolitan Bishop of Castoria. He was only 61. He passed away through complications through COVID, and he is the second senior Greek cleric to succumb to the virus. So the death rate is down. Now, with critical cases, they're also down at the moment as well. They are now down to 458 critical cases, of which 318 are male, 140 are female, and the average age of those people in critical condition on ventilators across the country is 67. However, 80% of those actually have underlying health conditions are over the age of 70. Now, yesterday, the European Union confirmed that it is buying an additional 100 million doses of the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, as it has proved safe and effective. Anyway, regarding the future vaccinations of the population of Greece, which is estimated in July 2020 to be just over 10,600,000, and the age distribution is as follows. Now, I'm just going to quickly go through the age distribution because I'm not going to give you the exact numbers and everything else, but I'm going to give you the percentages of the population. But it's important to see just the variations in the demographic here on the island, and I was on Greece. I was quite surprised actually looking at the demographics. Now, for the age group of 15 to 24 years, the actual demographic is the lowest at 10.34%. Now, only 18-year-olds it's planned that they're actually going to be offered the vaccination. So only people over the age of 18, under the age of 18 not. But anyway, the demographic total for the country is 10.34% are between the ages of 15 to 24. Now, the next demographic is the 25 to 54-year-old demographic, and that's what I would say would be the working demographic of Greece. It actually rates at 39.6%. So the actual, and that is the largest demographic, and that is people working, turning and burning, earning money, and that's obviously money going back into the social welfare systems, etc., through taxations and that. And so 39.6% of those are between 25 and 54 years of age. Now, the next demographic would be what I would call the kind of the semi-retired area, people between the ages of 55 and 64. Now, a lot of people are still working at that point, yes, but you also have the age now for retirement in Greece has only now just been changed to 67. So at the moment in that area, I was quite surprised to see that that is the second lowest demographic, and that is 13.1% of people are in that demographic. Now, when we come to 65 years of age, that actual demographic is, believe it or not, the second highest demographic, which is 22.43% for 65 years and older, technically retired people. Now, whether that is all Greek, i.e., as you all know what the Greeks can be like, they count their own but don't count everybody else, whether the demographic of expatriates, people from the camps, migrants are included in the figures that have been given at the 10.6 million, I don't know, all right? However, just looking at what is recorded when it comes to the vaccination side of things, that is looking like it's going to be obviously a big job to do, and also as well the amount of vaccine that's going to be required. And interestingly, when we talk about vaccines, yesterday Greece has pre-ordered 28 million doses of vaccines from a number of international pharmaceutical companies. So they've actually they've actually ordered more, because obviously some of these vaccines, it's 2 injections, it's not just 1. But interestingly, there's more than just the 3 vaccines that people have been talking about. So at the moment, 28 million doses of vaccines from a number of international pharmaceutical companies have been bought for Greece. Pfizer Biotech have approved 4.7 million doses. Oxford AstraZeneca have approved 7.1 million doses. Modern, another company, 1.8 million doses. Johnson & Johnson, I never even realised that Johnson & Johnson even were making any form of vaccine, but they've also ordered 4.7 million doses from them. And then another company called Sanofi, GSK, 4.7 million doses have been ordered by them. And also CureVac, they've ordered 5.3 million doses from that company as well. So as you can see, there's 5 different people or companies making vaccines. Now, whether some of those companies are making, shall we say, patented copies of vaccine from other, laboratories, other companies, just to be able to increase production, that's not been explained either. So that'll be interesting to find out if these other vaccines that have been mentioned, especially the CureVac, the Sanofi, GSK, and the Modern, are derivative vaccines from the other companies, and they've just been given the job of producing more. We don't know at the moment. However, what is interesting, and Jane actually picked up on this, was that since the pandemic started, there has been 50 new billionaires being created, of which 27 are based in China. So these are people making money not just off the vaccines, but PPE, but research, all sorts of other areas. And an extra 50 new billionaires have joined that club since the pandemic started. Now, the Greek Civil Protection Minister, Nikos Hadriatis, made his weekly live situation broadcast last night a little bit earlier. Normally he does this on a Friday, but he decided to do it yesterday because obviously the New Year's holidays are looming. He did this meeting, this broadcast, with Vana Papavangelou, also with Kikas Mariakin, and the Deputy Minister of Health, Vassilos Konstantamoulis, wasn't there, and the reason for that was he was still in the Ionia area, still sort of fact-finding around that location. Now, anyway, the Greek Civil Protection Minister said that this would be the last update for 2020, stating during the briefing what has happened since the beginning of the pandemic in Greece and also in the world as well. Now, the Professor of Pediatric Infections Diseases, Vana Papavangelou, I hope I said that right, she said what the second wave of the pandemic has taught us is the speed with which the coronavirus spreads. Anyway, noting that in the last year, she said, we have learned a lot. She also said that we have about approximately 8,000 to 500 active corona cases across Greece at the moment, which with an estimated 2,000 active cases in the greater Athens area and around about 1,600 in Thessaloniki. Now, she actually explained what she meant by active cases, and what she said, active cases, she said, are determined by subtracting the number of deaths and confirmed recoveries from the number of confirmed cases. And that's how they arrive at this number, that there's basically 2,000 people still walking around as an active case in the Athens area, and 1,600 walking around in the Athens area of Thessaloniki who have probably been carrying the virus. Now, Mrs. Paparazzo said that total immunity will not be achieved until several months have passed. Then infectious diseases specialist Gikas Moriankis spoke. He said once again he recommended that the public maintain their social bubble in the coming days, emphasising the importance of not meeting people we have not seen in recent times. Now, referring to the vaccination, he stressed that the collective immunity, or herd immunity as we probably call it, will be achieved when 50% of the population is vaccinated. So he did say we have a long, difficult winter ahead of us. Now, Nikos Hariadis, the other minister, then announced that there's going to be an extension of measures in certain municipalities. That doesn't include us at the moment, but Asker Vagorigo and Emphysina, they are still going to continue in their extreme lockdown measures until the 6th of January. Also as well, he's lifted restrictions in some other areas who are on the extreme restrictions. Mandria and Elathea, they're going to have their measures lifted because the active cases in those areas have actually decreased, and they're going to get lifted today. So they're going to not have as a stringent lockdown as what other locations have had. Now, for Consini, it's been decided to extend the measures in Konzani, Irialada and Voli, and they're going to be still in their extreme lockdown measures up until January the 6th also. It was also decided to lift measures for the municipalities of Serbia and Velatino as well. At the same time, he made it known that the situation in the local community of Thebes seems to have improved, and a decision will be made today as to whether they will stay in their lockdown measures that they're in at the moment. Also, again, according to the minister yesterday, the government will decide in January whether to partially reopen the retail sector following consultations with the expert committee advising them on coronavirus. Now, speaking to Greek Sky Radio, the government spokesman Stelios Patas said that talks with experts will be held next week. Now, the development minister Andonis Giadardis told the broadcaster Sky, if the epidemiology indicators continue to drop, then we could be easing some of the restrictions, but he didn't specify if this would happen as of January the 8th, when the current lockdown is expected to expire. I think a lot of people here are of the frame of mind. Especially I'm looking at Zakynthos now. We are an island. We are a locked society. There's no reason why a lot of the shops and retail businesses cannot reopen at the moment. God knows how many are going to be able to reopen once this has happened, how many businesses have gone to the wall. It'll be interesting. I might do a little walk along Alexander Roma Street after this all kind of finishes, and just count how many shops are now going to be either up for rent or up for sale, because that's normally for Zakynthos a good indicator as to how well the island is doing by the amount of empty shops that you'll see on Alexander Roma Street, during whatever crisis we've had, from the economic crisis of 2008 right up until now. So anyway, got a bit of bad news as well. A 38-year-old man lost his life yesterday afternoon while working at the public power facilities in Lazareta here on the island. The man, who was working for the independent power transmission operator, IPOTIO is how it's pronounced. He was an employee there, and according to the first information, he was found dead by his colleagues shortly before 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Now, his death, they're assuming at the moment, seems to be due to electric shocks. Anyway, in the next few days, there will obviously be a post-mortem, and that will be carried out to actually find out the man's actual cause of death. Now, the Minister of the Environment and Energy, Kostas Hadiatis, expressed his heartfelt condolences yesterday from Athens to the families of the victim. He calls on the independent power operator's management to investigate the causes, and emphasises that the Ministry of the Environment and the Energy will stand by the family of the deceased man at this time. So again, we send our condolences to the family of that guy. I've got to be honest, I was looking at the photographs of the location where he was working from the local press, and I've got to admit, my God, it looked something archaic, and just the look of the building and the state of the building was a lot to be desired. I'm not saying that could have been one of the reasons for the cause of his death, but when you look at the pictures of the building, it doesn't exactly inspire you with confidence. And this is the second person that has died due to electric shock while working on the power supply here in Zakynthos. We had a man also get killed during the hurricane, if you remember, just a few months ago. He was obviously electrocuted while trying to sort the power system out there. So once again, our condolences to the family. Right, let's have a quick look then who's tuning in. Quick wave to Jane. She's doing the cat litter trays at the moment, bless her. John Stowell is watching. Nice to see you there. I'll give you a wave. Shane Bowen is also watching as well. Shane says, Galimera Ginge, Galimera Sean. Linda Stanaway is also watching as well. Nice to see you there. Mike Gattenby is watching, the diver Mike. So nice to have you there, fella, looking in. Charles Ballantyne, Chick Ballantyne is looking in as well. Also, a Greek name that I can't make out at the moment who's tuning in as well. Lovely to have you checking up as well. Nice to see that as well. Patrina Hill is watching as well. Andy Orchard is watching. First line worker. He says, breaking news in the UK. The Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine has been approved for use here. So there we go. It's been approved there. I think it's been approved in Europe as well. I know we're going to be taking supplies of that as well. So cheers for that, Andy. Nice to know. Also, Kelly Cousins is watching as well. Nice to have you tuning in. Dennis Haliakis from Michaelo's restaurant down there in Kalamaki is also tuning in. Nice to see you there, Dennis, as well. I hope you're keeping well. John Roberts is also watching as well. Rap Reg buddy, nice to see you. Also Philip Ellis, nice to see you tuning in. Rap Reg buddy. Linda and Gary over there in Essex, nice to see you tuning in. The Picassos, I think I'll call them. Nice to see you guys looking in as well. Lorna Grant is also watching. Kevin Carhill's watching as well. Danny Holland Parker is watching. Nice to see you, Danny. Patrick Curtin over there in Cyprus is tuning in as well. I hope you're on the mend, fella. I hope everything's good for you. So nice to have you tuning in. Caroline Heath is also watching as well. Geraldine Blow is watching. John Mims is watching as well. Nice to see you there. Nice pictures of you and the family, by the way, over Christmas. Nice to see Mitch still in best of health as well. That's the son, and that's our Michael Jackson tribute as well. And hopefully we might get them back in the summer, all being well. Anyway, Alex Sipas is also watching as well. Nice to see you there as well, Alex. William Bruce is watching. Dawn Usher is watching as well. Nicola Hooper is watching too. Give you a wave. Anyway, just to remind you that I will be doing a broadcast today, and this will be my final broadcast for 2020, a mixture of number one hits from the year, tunes that have been very popular that people have requested, your requests as well, a little look at the history of the year as well, a little potted musical history of the year, of things that happened and tunes that made an impact during the year as well. Not necessarily a number one record, but a tune that has made an impact during the year. And that will be going out at 3 o'clock this afternoon, your time over there in the UK, if you're tuning in from there. And that will be 5 o'clock here. About 2 hours. It might go a little longer, depending on what the buzz is like in the chat rooms. Don't forget, you can watch it and see it live, being broadcast on Facebook. But as soon as Facebook take it down, as they will do, then switch across to Mixcloud or switch across to Twitch, where you can watch it and hear it and see it. And don't forget, there will be a Dropbox that will go up, so you can download it at your convenience, still see the pictures, hear the music, and it will also simultaneously go up onto Mixcloud, but only as an audio recording, where normally the shows have been charting. And I was checking the charts again. The Christmas show at the moment has dropped to number 71 from 62 yesterday. Oh bless. But yeah, the show's chart, which really is great when you consider that there's over 3 million people on that platform. It's amazing that the shows somehow just always seem to chart every broadcast, so that does make me feel really good. And once again, you can come and join me live, request stuff live as well. So 3 o'clock this afternoon, or 5 o'clock Greek time if you're over here in Greece, or whatever time it is wherever you are in the world. All right, you just come and put your requests in below if you have a request. Also, pop in your New Year's resolutions that you may have set yourself. and can you see yourself living up to them later in the year? Anyway, just a quick shout out to Amanda Gregory. Nice to have you tuning in, my darling. Bob Monroe, Rap Reg buddy. Nice to see you. Charlotte Davis is looking in. Graham Chisholm is looking in. Rob Bennett is also looking in as well. And that's it at the moment. Right, I'll leave it there. You have a great day wherever you are, and I will see you later this afternoon or this evening, depending on your time of day, for the very final broadcast from me for 2020. And thanks a lot. Oh, and thank you to my son Michael yesterday. We had a good little chat, and I'll pop a couple of tunes in for you, son, all right, as well. And I look forward to joining you later. Catch you later. Be good. Ta-ra.